Welcome. We are doing another double interview with Kimberly, Joy, and Andreas, both INTPs of a different type. I'm just going to show this coin. People aren't getting this so far, so I'm going to show this this coin so that people start getting it. I think this is the most interesting kind of interview, but all of my YouTube analytics go like straight down when I do these interviews. So I just want to just show their coin and show what we're looking at first. So let's just share this screen here. Okay, so then here we have Kimberly, Joy here, and Kimberly, and we have Andreas here. Andreas, your double masculine is going to be in your blast, right? And where's your double masculine, Kimberly?
Sleep.
In your sleep. Okay, that's going to be interesting. And then Kimberly goes like this on the coin. She starts with consume, play, blast, and then Andreas goes like this. He starts with sleep, and then he goes to blast, and then to play. So it's going to be interesting. All right, stop share. So I hope that was okay. Andreas and Kimberly. So let's start with a little question to get our bearings straight. So how do you let's start with sleep. Okay, Kimberly, how do you see your sleep? Are you aware of it?
I think I'm aware of it, but it was surprising to me when they typed me sleep last. We talked about this last time.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm sleeping all the time. But what I realized is I'm not sleeping because I'm not processing the information for myself. I'm always using the tribe as like a measure. Would this make sense to them if I said it this way? How about this way? I need to get some more information and repackage this. So it's not for me, it's for other people.
Right. So when you do actually get around to sleeping in the end, like that's like your final stop, are you aware of what happens there at all? Do you do it forcefully?
No. The only place I know that I have a practice around it is processing my emotions for myself. Everything else feels like it's a filter for everybody else. Even the processing my emotions is so that I'm better for the people in my life. So I'm not very aware of the sleep process.
Interesting. Okay, Andreas, can you tell us a little bit about how you're aware of your sleep process, just to see if it sparks something in Kimberly?
I don't know. It's not like I'm aware of it all the time. Mostly I'm not aware of it. There are sometimes when I can see, oh, that was, but yeah, I see with emotions, I can see it like it's more like if I'm going in a fast car really fast, I'm like, hold on, let me slow down and see if, not necessarily if I'm alright with this, but more, like I'm going too fast now. I think I need to slow down because I'm gonna burn myself out. I'm gonna burn my emotions out. I'm gonna burn my mind out. I need to slow down. But I'm not actually always aware of it. I have become more aware of it because of OP. But yeah, it's not something I'm always aware of. I'm actually more aware of my class.
Right. So it's a TISI sleep. So you should be going over all of your, I guess SI for, it's something that I'm starting to notice, but it's that like the eternal state, like something that's true at all times for you guys might be more facts and like things that actually happened. And the instantaneous state for you guys would be all these patterns that are coming out of the moment. Do you feel so maybe your SI is more that, like looking at eternal facts, eternal truths? Do you go over that?
It could be. The thing is, I think, I don't know. I think it's more like, for me, it's more like of a building game. It's hard for me sometimes to see if it really is sensory of it. It is the past. For me, it's more like, I'm just thinking about building something internally, and sometimes it's facts, sometimes it's not really, but it's just like I'm going inside my mind and then I'm building something in my mind, not in the physical world, just in my mind, puzzling with things in my mind. Sometimes, yeah, it can be the past, but sometimes it can also be the future. It's just, I want to build, in a way, a system in my head.
But get an eternal sort of truth of these facts, of these, no?
Maybe, yeah, it could be that. Again, I'm actually not 100% sure.
Right.
On it. It's something I have just been thinking about, and I have not come to an conclusion on.
Okay,
subject.
so maybe we'll come back to it. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to it. What about consume? Are you aware of consume, Andreas, before we go to Kimberly? About how your consume process works?
Oh, for the most part, yeah. I'm more aware of it, especially now. Then sleep, trying to do some more consuming. But sometimes I am struggling to figure out, is this really consume I'm doing right now, or this is just, taking an information from the same bucket, from a known bucket, and just hoping there's some new information, or is this really some new information? So I'm a little bit struggling with that, just
Right.
the thought of it.
The new information would be new
But yeah.
momentary insights. Like you'll go over the same facts to get new momentary insights that might, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think. And I'm
Right.
trying to divide these two things, but sometimes I'm struggling to see, am I doing it right now, or I'm just faking it and think I'm doing it and tricking myself to doing it, or what is happening?
Okay. All right, Kimberly, what do you have to say about this whole consume thing?
So first of all, I do really identify with that building things in my mind concept that he talked about. Like when OP said, "Oh, you're not an ENTJ," which is what I thought I was. I actually felt like somebody had taken the bottom brick out and everything just kind of fell into a pile, and I was going to have to build it back up again. Okay, so if that piece is different, so kind of to that eternal truth that you were talking about,
Right.
but I don't think of it as internal truths, more like snapshots of my perception. Like, this is what I think now. Here's all the reasons why. Here are the maybe even sensory reasons. I had this memory of this happening, but they're all interconnected. And if one of them shifts, it kind of starts this little ripple effect.
Right. That would be your sleep.
In my brain.
Yeah. That would be your sleep then. That ripple effect and all of that processing, the ripple effect will be your sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very aware of that. And when I consume, it frequently is new people, but a lot of times it's the same stuff. Like I did a podcast episode with my partner last week, and we were talking about game theory. And I've known about game theory for a long time, and I've touched on it. But we were in our talking about it, in our playing with it, I went, "Oh my God, I've been saying like these things, and oh, they all connect right here. It's all the same thing."
Right. In the moment.
Yeah, I don't get the insight even when I'm consuming it. Sometimes the dots don't even connect for new information, how they interplay in that puzzle, until I'm playing with it with somebody else.
Oh.
So sometimes dots don't connect when it's me consuming. I just like consuming stuff. And the puzzle pieces don't always click until later. And I don't know if that's sleep.
Right.
Like I have to process it all.
Yeah.
While.
Yep.
Really an interplay between those two.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I want to end up going a little bit deeper when we do our interview later with Klaus on consume and comparing the two kinds. But I just wanted to see if you guys sort of see the consume the same way or differently, or what's going on with you guys. Andreas, do you have something? Does what she said about sleep connect with you, about playing with things and trying to, like, the cascading effect?
What do you think, Andreas? Does that sound right or similar?
Yeah, in a way, I'm not sure. In a way, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just I've been thinking about that a lot, because I feel like sometimes when I'm consuming something, when I'm going into a room and there's an object that have changed or whatever, I'm like, oh, because now I've consumed something, then it clicked for me. But that can also be sleep, because I was, going internally inside my head and be like, oh, so that is how it fits together in the bigger picture or whatever. So maybe I'm not sure that at all. It could be.
So, but what it is really interesting. So you're saying that something changes in the world is going to change your perception of the big picture?
Yes, in a sense. Yes, I think, yeah.
That's interesting. Do you have something on that, Kimberly?
It sounds like almost the same thing I just described. Like I consumed all this stuff about game theory, and we're talking about personal development. And I went in with Dan, and in seeing it in the real world and talking to him, it's like, oh, that's a shift. And all the blocks, that ripple effect started happening in real time.
Right.
Because I consumed, because I went in and got some more information.
Okay, interesting. All right, so let's talk a little bit about TI, because you each have a different TI. So you're going to have a masculine TI, Kimberly, and Andreas is going to have a feminine TI. So first of all, let's just sort of just describe, because for me, TI is just really obvious what it is, but people are always questioning me, what is TI? I'm like, really? What? All right. So what do you think TI is, Kimberly?
TI is just kind of knowing what you're thinking. And that to me is kind of like the logical thing people do, is know what they're thinking about a thing. And not to say that I always know what I'm thinking about everything, but just having taken the time to dial in why I think a certain way about a thing. So my data set, my area of expertise might be like this little tiny pie slice, but I feel pretty comfortable in that slice, articulating what I think about that and why. How about you, Andreas?
For me, TI it's a lot of things, really. I don't think we can just say like, this is TI and this is what it is, because I feel like there's of course nuances to it, but just the essence of TI, it's just not, this, it's a lot broader. But for me, it's more, it's like, it's both my ideas, my thinking, I have an idea for a movie, I have an idea for a character, whatever. It can also be like, for me, it's like, the idea is personal, so if you're gonna shit on the idea, I'm gonna get real mad. And if I have created something, a plan, an object, whatever, trying to figure out something, to a solution to a problem, I'm like, if people don't think this is a good solution to the problems, I'm also gonna, not necessarily mad, but it's gonna hurt me a little bit inside. But for me, it's also just figuring things out for myself. Not necessarily figuring out for other people, but just, I want to figure it out for myself, and going in and doing it for myself, I think.
Did you said there, Kimberly, you have something to add?
No,
Or-
it just seems like he's describing it, and it's a much more vulnerable process for you than it is for me. Like, I just assume that everybody's going to think something different, and so I'll just work on that articulation, and maybe they'll come to my side, maybe they won't. Who knows?
Right.
It doesn't matter. But my TI is masculine, and yours is feminine.
Right. Yeah. So
And that's just because like, it got me to thinking because I don't know if you relate to this, or the opposite of this, but my feelings are masculine, and I don't really care what people's feelings are about things. Like, to a degree, yeah, I care, but not really. Like, if people like different things, like, yeah, of course everybody like different things, and people always like different things. So if people don't like the same thing as you, it's fine. You can still be friends with them. It's not really, that big of a problem, really. This is just,
but if people think differently, it's a problem for you if people think differently.
For me,
yeah. You said that I don't care if people feel differently, but if they think differently than you, that's a problem.
Yeah, I think like I have trying to dial it a lot down, but yeah, it's a little bit of a problem because, you're trying, like the FI people trying to find something, they also feel important so they can connect, and I'm trying to find someone who have the same thoughts and the same TI world view, I guess. So yeah, if people think differently, it's really hard for me to be friends with them. I try to, because I really want to be open. I think everybody have something to offer, but it's really hard. It's something I have to train myself and still need to train a lot on.
That's very foreign to me as a masculine TI. What about you, Kimberly?
I'm trying to think where my vulnerabilities lie, because it's not like I'm impervious. I have vulnerabilities, but I don't think it's around what I think. I think it's a little bit more around, like, I might have a hard time being friends with somebody if they're behaving in a way toward the tribe that I don't agree with. Like, I have a little bit of a savior syndrome.
Right.
Oh, you're treating somebody badly. Oh my God, I cannot be friends with you. I'm going to correct it. I'm going to like be too much in somebody's business. Like, that's where I tend to cross the line. Oh, you're not a nice person. Yeah, we're not hanging out.
Is that because your FE disagrees with it, or because your TI disagrees with it?
I think it's because my FE is more vulnerable. He's like, you like what you want. It's like an outside world. He's fine with that being different.
Right.
It seems like there's a distinction between the two of us, where I'm like, you have your inner world, I don't care, we can be friends. But if you behave like an asshole, you treat people badly, you're out. So it just seems like, not that he tolerates bad behavior either, but just it seems like he's more sensitive to the inner disagreement, and I'm more sensitive to the outer disagreement. Is that accurate?
Is that?
I think, like, yeah, of course, it's like it's the difference is so small, so it's not like if people are doing something bad and having bad behavior, yes, I'm also gonna react to that and be like, oh, this person is a jerk. But I do think I'm more forgiving in that, and more, like, let him be a jerk. It's gonna be fine. Whatever, everybody can be jerks. Everybody can be good persons. I think on a spectrum of other people, yeah, I'm probably more forgiving and open in a sense than most other people. I think. I don't know.
Okay.
Seems like that's what's coming out of this. A little bit of a, like,
Right.
we're both assholes in a little bit of a different way.
True.
High five.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think TI is also like an innate understanding of logic, and like you can just sort of logically navigate things easily? Do you want to start, Kimberly? I see you have a little disagreement with that.
Sure. I actually am taking an ethics class that's requiring me to learn formal logic.
Right.
Holy cow, do I feel like the most illogical person in the world right now. But I do feel like I came out of the blister packaging with kind of an innate understanding of contradictions in real time.
Right.
Like if somebody, it might be my SI actually tracking like where a person says they are in the map, where they are in the map, what they say, what they do. And so I'm always like kind of on the lookout for those contradictions.
Contradictions, yeah.
Yeah. And so they're like logical fallacies that other people don't seem to see. Like you're saying this thing, but I'm watching you and it's a very different philosophy in your behavior. That's a mismatch. So that's always been really obvious to me, but logic,
right,
not necessary.
Yeah. So that's what I get to, is the contradictions. What about you, Andreas? Do you notice the contradictions in what people are saying, or between your SI and your NE or something?
I feel like I do. Everybody can be wrong at all times, but I feel like when somebody says something I know is wrong, or sometimes I just feel like I don't know if it's wrong, but I just got that feeling, things inside of me that's like, this doesn't sound right. And I think most people do this, but I've just seen in me that I'm more like, I'm faster to be like, this is bullshit, I don't believe in it. I don't do it with my friends because I don't want to hurt them, but people I don't care about, I can really go disrespectful in and be TI, breaking things apart really, really hard, and that just pisses people off and make them cry, and that is not good. And that's why I'm not doing it with my friends and family, but I do it inside my head a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Okay. So we got out of this that TI is the ability to detect contradictions. Does that sound like a good summation of it?
Contradictions.
Maybe. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not necessarily accurate. It's not some magic wand.
Yeah.
What I think from where I'm standing.
Yes, exactly. It's very personal, and it's between your SI and your NE, or between two NE points or between two SI points, right? It's those contradictions that you're able to judge. Okay, and so then in your sleep state, do you think that that's what you would be doing, is taking those SI points and looking for contradictions?
Oh, yeah. At least I do.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this thing happened. It was total shit. It made no sense to me in the moment. Okay, let me go back and review. Okay, in the past they've said this and this and this, and that's Oh, okay, no wonder I was surprised by that bit of behavior, because it doesn't match my map of who that person is.
Right.
And it always catches me off guard. And
right.
But I have to think about it later. I'm not fast enough to figure it out in real time usually.
So you also think the same thing, Andreas, about your sleep? It's looking at contradictions in SI points?
It could be. Like, taking it down to what Kimberly said, that she can't do it in a moment. I actually feel like I'm doing it in the moment. Like, it just comes to me in the moment when they say it or when they do it or whatever the action might be. I just get that feeling of, hold on, that's something wrong here. That's something that doesn't quite hold up to what I already know to this person. Or it can be an object. It can be whatever.
So that's the NESI then.
Yeah.
The moment to the past. It's the NE to the SI.
It could be.
Right.
It could be. I think, I don't know. But it could be, yeah, possibly.
I'm wondering if you're actually faster in real time because you sleep more. I've already thought about this. I've already really mapped it. And I only map it after.
It could. It could be.
Andreas?
I think I'm more afraid to jump on it, but yeah, it could be that.
Yeah,
I see it in
that's
my
a good
mind
point.
at the moment, but I can't jump on it. I just see it and I'm afraid to jump on it, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a really good point. What Kimberly just said, because like you'll have a whole structure of known information, and then when something in the moment has a mismatch with that known information, it might be evident to you. Whereas Kimberly will have
Mm.
like be really good at getting this known information, but it might take her a little bit of a time to check all of her SI points in the past. Did you feel like that, Kimberly?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty big distinction. I'm only gonna sleep when I have to, really.
Right.
Whereas he does it all the time. It's like your flow state.
But you still get those contradictions in real time where you're just like, no,
Yeah,
that's not right.
I can't always articulate why, and that's why I have to
Right.
figure out why is
Oh,
that
okay.
wrong? That's still wrong, but I have nothing to say about it. And
Right.
so it gets into a lot of trouble where I'm just like going along and agreeing. Yeah, no, what? And then I'll come back later and go, you know that thing we talked about? I thought about it and I have something to say now. And sometimes that window of conversation is way past for the person, but I finally figured out the thing. So I want to bring it back up. So it's kind of my timing is really off, if that makes sense.
Right. It's like
Yeah, it
coming
makes
to
sense.
yeah. It's like you always think of the perfect comeback to some snarky remark, but like way after its due date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Andreas? Are you able to think quick and give good remarks and good comebacks on time, or you also think it's
Oh, I feel like it's hard to say because when I, funny enough, look back with my SI in my life, sometimes yeah, sometimes not really. There was times where I did, really quick say something really good. The thing is, I have always thought that was any because in my mind I can like think in the moment the best solution or the best comeback, whatever, but I can't really get it out. I can't really say it. I can't really, get it out to the tribe. So I'm just like sitting there seeing how things fits and yeah, understand it and see, oh, this is something that's wrong here, but I just can't say it to people. I can't make the jump on it. It feels like that. So I'm often most often just sitting there quiet and just, this is fine, you just go along with the bullshit, go into the lion's cage, that is fine with me, you go out there, that's okay with me, I'm gonna stay safe over here. I
Go
feel
into
like
the
that most often. Exactly.
right. Okay, so have you guys noticed any similarities between the two of you so far? Or like is anything sticking out that you guys are on the same coin? Kimberly?
It's
Oh,
funny,
Andreas?
two things I have. Yeah, if I can jump in.
Yeah.
Two things I actually have been seeing. The first one is like, I don't remember who, but there was someone on the Facebook group talking about how people saw the world in a way, in a philosophical way. And write something about, the world's about dominoes, random chaotic dominoes, and every action have, a domino effect, whatever. I just remember you wrote something where we're like, oh, this I really related to that. That's the first thing. The other thing I have been seeing is a lot of like or I don't feel like I'm that smart or that clever, but everybody around me tells me I'm really clever, I'm really smart. And the funny thing is, I have seen Dave said to you one time that you didn't feel like you were smart or anything, but Dave was like, oh, she's real smart, she's real like really clever, so amazing, clever girl, whatever. And it's just something I have been wondering about, like, the peacock effect. If the peacock effect is real, what if all the clever people, not necessarily in a self-focused way saying I'm clever, but just saying, what if it is real, then the clever people will think they're stupid and the stupid people will think they're clever. So if we look at it in that way, maybe there's something to it. It's just something I have been thinking about for the past weeks, I think. I don't know.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah. What do you
It's
think,
just
Kimberly?
something.
I can't remember what the Dunning-Kruger effect,
Right.
where the smart people think they're stupid and the stupid people think they're smart. Because the smarter you get, the more you don't know, the more qualifiers
Yeah.
you put in there. Well, I'm not real sure about this, but this is what I'm thinking now, because you've already done like 5 iterations of this groundwork on a thing, and chances are it's going to change again. So why die on this hill? Whereas somebody who has like a teaspoonful of information, but they're sure about it, they're gonna like, you know, keep punching you in the face with it. And you're like, okay, like you said, go ahead, go to the lion's den. Maybe that'll reset whatever
Yeah.
it is that's going on in there.
I also think as lead TIs, we value intelligence a little more than anything else. I don't know if that's true for you guys, but I think also because we have that higher value, then we're so much more self-critical on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything Andreas says, I can follow really easily. Like there aren't any holes to me when I listen to him talk. So
Right.
he's speaking my language, even though this is
Right.
like your third language or something.
Yeah.
It's really clear to me. So
it's bypassing your filter. It's bypassing your consume filter. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I was going to say something else and I lost it.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine.
What about you, Andreas? You feel the same thing, that Kimberly is speaking in a language that's clear for you to understand?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty funny. Yeah, I feel like sometimes when I'm seeing people write something on Facebook or say something on TV, whatever, I don't actually always understand what they're saying because it feels like it's another language they are speaking of, and you know, that could maybe because they have a whole nother function system, whatever. But I always feel like with Kimberly, also with other people who have the same functions as me, I feel like I understand them a little bit better. In general, I just feel like I understand TI people pretty good, but the people I understand best is the people that have the same function as me, not necessarily the same I can't say that word for some reason. Exactly. And the same saviors, but I still understand them and can see, oh, this is where they're coming from, you know, understand that. I can see that. Yeah.
Great.
I remembered what I was going to say. I don't think of myself as smart, but I do tend to think the tribe is stupid. When I talk to somebody, I really don't think they're dumb. Like individually, if I take the time to connect with somebody, I'm like, you're brilliant. You have these insights with your maybe your FE or your FI, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I'm like, wow, you're amazing. But when I'm like monitoring like something like Facebook, I'm like, wow, have you guys thought this through at all? Did you like spend any time pondering before you wrote that out? Because that's kind of frightening.
Right. You feel the same way, Andreas, that everyone's stupid?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny because I feel like you can learn anything from everyone. Everyone is smart. Like you can look at the animals. There are some fucking birds, like, you know, they will take some nuts and they will fly over the road, lay them on the road, and then the cars will drive over them and then crack it up so they can eat it. Like that is pretty damn smart if you think about it, that they figure that out. Mm-hmm. That is smart. So yeah, you can see that everybody is smart. You can learn anything from anyone and everything, basically, I think. But I still sometimes feels like, God damn it, people, have you thought this through? Have you not, like, if you sit down and just really think about it, you can see it. Why don't you do that? Are you stupid right now? Please get your shit together. So yeah, right. I relate to that.
The frustrating thing is I see myself being dumb as a member of the tribe. So it's not like I'm immune to this phenomenon. Sometimes I just go along and I'm like another idiot in the school of fish. So to me, it's the tribe itself when we're collective. The saying is, nobody is as dumb as all of us. That is always like really rung true for me.
Interesting. Well, great. I think we touched on a few good points. We got some good triangulation going, and I hope we got the purpose of this done. Anyways, have a good one. Anyone have any last words? Or I'll put, again, your links in the description. Kimberly is a life coach, podcast, and typologist, and she types people, so feel free to contact her. And Andreas, right now you have something, I don't remember, you don't have anything to promote yet, right? Not yet, but one day you will.
I have, and not really. Like I'm gonna, one day I will. I'm building some music, I'm doing some films, and one day it will come up. But not now.
I'll put your YouTube channel.
I've watched a couple of your films.
Yeah.
You should link those.
Yeah, I'll put those in as well again. Do you have any final comments or anything?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
Add to your bucket list as you use us as 2 data points.
Right.
I'm 20 years ahead of Andreas.
Yes, of course.
He's amazing. He's like 20 years.
Yeah.
My minor. So that is a difference as well.
Right. What about you? Another final point, Andreas?
I'm trying to think about something, but I don't really have anything at all. So
Great. That's great.
yeah.
All right.
I have nothing to blast at all. So
Beautiful. Right. So have a good one, everyone. And thank you for